Harrison. Spawning in the south of the map is Harrison on his famous Swedish. I'm just kidding. I've never seen Harrison play the Swedish before, so I'm curious to see how he's going to pull it out. I'm going to be very critical. I'm going to be watching every single little mistake he does. But to be honest, he hasn't made a single mistake yet, so it's great to see. Spawning in the north of the map is his opponent, nOel. Now, if you don't know who these players are, they are two top-tier players from the ESOC community. Well, rather, the ESO community, also known as ESOC. And they are playing in a grudge match up against each other. A show match for us, so they're part of the Blind Civ series that's put on by EGCTV every week. And this week we've got these two titans of ESOC playing up against each other. So China against Sweden. Let's talk a little bit about that matchup, what we're expecting out from each player. So in the early game, we see that Harrison has started off doing the right thing, torping up 2 torps on his coin mine. Hopefully he's going to be sending this villager to shoot these hunts down towards the south, and that's exactly what he's doing. We want to see these torps shoot. So we, oh my god, Harrison, you've been watching a lot of Drongo streams, I can tell, because you are playing this immaculately so far, and now discovering a 90 coin treasure up to the north, doing a wonderful scouting path. I absolutely love this scouting path. Really, really nice by Harrison. Picking up a lot of sheep as well. We take a look at his opponent, nOel. We see what nOel's done. A little bit more of a circular scouting path instead of going deep into it, and now finding the enemy disciple. Probably knows that nOel is on the way. nOel's explorer is called Freedom Fighter, and undoubtedly he's going to be fighting for a lot of freedom in this game, because Harrison on the Swedes is going to be torping all over the top of him, and he doesn't want that. He wants to be free. Oh my god, what is this that you are doing, you cheeky nOel? You are putting down a village. So we have got some early action already that's going to be happening here. Now, normally you don't see this coming out from Chinese players in the early game. It's something that does happen occasionally, but essentially this basically telegraphs, hey, I'm not fast fortressing. I am going to be rushing you, and I'm going to be putting on the pain nice and early. So that's what we're going to be expecting to see out of nOel. Going to be expecting to see a little bit of action. His explorer's out here grabbing this XP treasure. Going to be getting it in. We've now got the first shipment coming in. Northern refugees. Let's take a look and see what other shipments he's got in the game. So he's in his deck. He's got water is the name of the deck. We've got the 2 war junks as well as the fusion. 9 Manchu as well as the 9 iron troops. Behind this, we've also got the intervention, the meteor hammers, as well as the 2 Changdaos. No 1,000 coin in the deck. Not a lot of age 4 cards here, so really not focusing on a fast industrial or even any industrial play at all. So now we take a look. The shipment coming in, so delivering 3 villages, 1 for each village, and 1 for the town center. So each villager is now spawning out. So we can see some herding that needs a little bit of work on this, but the herding in the base is all looking very good. All the herds are underneath the town center. Now a little bit of action over on the left side of the map. We got 1 sheep, and this sheep is unfortunately going to get picked up. Oh, he managed to get it away. He managed to push it away. Harrison, oh, he's going to lose it. I think he loses the sheep. Oh, but oh my god, Harrison being so cheeky. Does he have a crack shot? It doesn't look like he's got a crack shot ready. Now, when this crocodile resets, or this alligator resets rather, okay, never mind, he's going to start shooting it down. It was going to automatically aggro back over to the Chinese player. And the disciple going down to the native scout. And Harrison taking the shot. I think Harrison just took the shot, and Freedom Fighter wasn't paying attention, and unfortunately, the explorer the treasure going over to Harrison. So Harrison outplaying nOel in the early game and picking back up the sheep. The sheep is so important, man, and it's so great to see that Harrison has respected the sheep here. Great to see. We've got nOel almost got his age up in queue, eating a goat now. The goat is going to be powering that age up. Let's see if he drops it down. Do we have something at the front of the base? No, it's over to the side. We're going up to the summer palace. It's got this forward vills. Don't forget about these villagers. Going to be paying a lot of attention to these once we get up to the second age. We're going to speed it up a little bit. We'll take a look over at Harrison's perspective and see what he's up to. He's now out torping this coin mine. Now, one of the things I talk about as we just slow it down is this is a difficult map for Sweden. And the reason why that is because you don't have any... Oh, I say that, but there's actually a lot of coin mines that have spawned around Harrison's base. Normally, okay, there is an awful lot of coin mines around Harrison's base. Okay, so normally, when you're playing as Sweden on this map, you don't have these 2 coin mines that are like right outside your base. Normally, the only coin mines are these coin mines here in the middle of the map. But Harrison's got really good coin mines. He literally has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 coin mines around his base. So I guess the point I was trying to make is that it's difficult to expand on this map because there's only really one coin, only one direction that you can really go when it comes to expanding around coin mines as the Swedish, and that's to the north. You can't expand to the south because on most maps, okay, you don't have water, you've got land, and it means that all of this area that would normally be land would have coin mines on it, but you don't have that on this map. On Florida, it's a little bit more difficult. So we see Harrison going up with the 2 cows and the 2 villagers. Definitely a meta age up. I'd love to see him killing these cows underneath the torps. Now, Harrison hasn't spotted the forward location from his opponent, and this, I can't believe how close this is. This is actually crazy. The reason why this is crazy is because for Harrison, he can go 700 wood, 2 leather cannons. All he needs to do is put up a little wall around here. So just, you know, a wall here, a wall down here like that, and a wall along here, and he can keep his leather cannons absolutely safe in this wall, and he can protect these coin mines. He can protect every single one of these coin mines. This is crazy. I've never seen Florida spawn this beautifully for a Swedish player. Harrison is in a beautiful position right now. 700 wood behind this. Now keep in mind, his opponent has just recently aged up to the 2nd age. We'll take a look at nOel. We'll see what he's up to. Sending in the 9 Kyung pikemen. He's got his war academy that's gone down. The village is already, we can see the waypoint is moving towards these front torps. He's got the 9 Kyung pikemen as well as the Old Hand army, which is training the standard army from the palace back home, or from the summer palace back home. The explorer doing a bit of scouting would be spotting that there's nothing in base. So Harrison, oh Harrison, you got to be so careful right now. Oh no, Harrison, this is bad. This is really bad for Harrison. I'll explain to you guys why this is. Harrison right now is scouting out the base and he says, oh, okay, no war academy in here. He's just aged up. He's just probably doing a standard FF. Oh no. Oh no. And now we've got trouble. Trouble. You're in trouble because nOel has got units out and Harrison didn't expect this. He didn't even scout it, so now he would have spotted it. He's potentially going to be losing this villager. One of the things that nOel needed to do was just get a Kyung pikeman on top of this villager and potentially chase it down and snare it, because now this villager manages to get away, and that's one villager that survives for Harrison, very fortunately. That torp does go down though. The 2 leather cannons are on the way, as well as almost an emergency barracks being put down now. He's still got a couple of cows that he could be potentially eating, and more expansion going up towards the north. This is exactly what is so good about Sweden. They are able to expand like this. And when nOel is coming in and burning down these torps, so these torps are what I would call gimmies. Okay, basically these torps are guaranteed to go down. And the thing is, ideally, you shouldn't be focusing them down. What you need to be focusing down are these torps. These are the bad ones. These are the bad guys. They're going to keep popping up throughout the game. You go deal with those right now. That's what you should be dealing with right now. Okay, because we are taking down the market, and it's definitely not a bad choice. But one of the things is that your opponent is going to have those leather cannons coming in, and they're going to be able to push you back. You might get the market, but that's about it. So definitely not a bad trade. Definitely not a bad pickup from nOel. Oh no, now we see the step riders coming in. A bit of the market flying off into space right now. And now the seven step riders are going to be able to manage to take out the leather cannons. Are they going to be able to get on top? We've got one connecting. Minutemen being called. He knows how important it is for these to be staying alive. The first step rider getting picked off. The second rider getting picked off. Where did all the step riders go? All of the step riders are dead. Where did the step riders go? They evaporated. What? I thought that those leathers would be dead for sure. Those leathers barely even took a scratch. What the heck? Okay. Now we've got the torps that continue to be sieged down, but the problem is it's only a matter of time until these leather cannons come out. And this is exactly what I was talking about making sure you get down these torps. And look at this absolutely toxic gameplay. Harrison doing really well on the toxicity levels right now. I'm feeling very good about his prospects because he's going to be able to deal with this on the front line. He's got his leather cannons out. He's got no real threat of 7 steps coming in from anywhere. At most, he's going to be dealing with 2 steps, maybe 4 steps if his opponent times a batch with it. But realistically, he's got a lot of a window right now to open up. Going with the 600 wood as well, so opting for more of an age 2 play instead of opting to go up to the 3rd age. Something that I'd like to see out from him is a bit more of a focus on collecting wood, because at the moment he's collecting a lot of coin. We see that. Could be sending in ironworks here instead. Ironworks is a little bit more of an investment. Actually, we can take a look at the deck. We haven't looked at the deck yet for Harrison. We've got those infinite 6 mams, the sphere lifeguard, as well as the 3 cards in age 1, which have all the right cards. Definitely the right choices here. We've got the 3 coin mines. I love this deck. I think this deck is absolutely perfect, Harrison. You've done really, really well with this deck. And we take a look back at nOel, see what he's up to. nOel timing the summer army, or the standard army rather, from the summer palace. 2 step riders now chasing down a settler. This is exactly what he needs to be doing. Really making sure that these expansions are being controlled, being contained. So 7 Step Riders are one of my favorite shipments to open with against Sweden as the Chinese, just simply because you can send out a Step Rider to every single coin mine. You go 1 up here, 1 over here, 1 to here, 1, 2, 3, 4. Basically, you can control 7 coin mines with those Step Riders. So very, very important shipment. And it's great to see that nOel is now cleaning this up. This is exactly what he needs to be doing, focusing on this. But one thing to keep in mind is Harrison is in a decent position still at this point. Harrison is still able, he's got 150 torp pop, so not terrible. He's able to add 1 more torp down here. He's able to add another torp here, so that's another 2 torps. He could potentially expand out this way as well. He's got those leather cannons that he can use, so he can potentially go another 4, another 8, even another 3 over here. So he's got so many coin mines that he can work with. And right now, what he's doing is he is buying time. And that's exactly what he needs. So if we take a look at Harrison's perspective, we see he's got that villager. Can he drop down a torp? For whatever reason, I can't actually use the hotkeys to drop down a torp, but I'm curious whether... I don't think he can actually get torps on this coin mine. And now sending blueberries, so not going for that ironworks, going straight for the blueberries card. So definitely a wise choice in this position, going to be focusing on his economy. It definitely looks like he's macroing towards that age 3 as well. And we've got a little bit of a push now that's happening. He's looking just to clear out these Step Riders. Wants to take them out. Now, these Step Riders are very quick, so it's important that you've got to move your Corollians right in underneath them and really focus. See if you can get a snare on it with the Explorer. And as you see, they run away. They ran away. They were just too quick. So you've got to be very careful with them. You've got to try your best to get that snare off. The torps continue to get burned down. Harrison probably not feeling the best right now, but keep in mind, behind this, he's just adding more and more torps. We see more and more torps being added. Where are they being added? Here they are, being added over on the right side of the map. And Harrison's doing the right thing now, pushing out over onto the right-hand side. Going to be going up against the Chinese forward base, and the Chinese forward base is quite prone to being attacked right now because he knows that all the army is over up here on the north, sieging it down. But what do you guys see in queue right now? We see the porcelain tower in queue coming up for nOel. So nOel has bought himself a lot of time by burning down these torps. By burning down these torps, he's forcing Harrison to rebuild them down here to the south. We see 1 torp going up, potentially going to be more coming up along here. But Harrison hasn't even pushed the forward base yet. So I definitely feel like Harrison might feel a little bit lost at this point. He's got his age up in queue, going up with the Exiled Prince, indeed. And he's got a few torps that are littered around the map. Now, I don't think nOel knows about this coin mine. nOel doesn't know about this coin mine. He knows that it exists, but he doesn't know that there's torps on it. Now, there's a lot of coin mines around the edges of the map that could be getting abused by Harrison, but aren't being scouted out yet by nOel yet. So nOel now hitting the 3rd age, grabbing Imperial Bureaucracy, the rest of his market upgrades as well, dropping down that consulate, as well as dropping down a village. So doing a really great job of controlling the map, and now spotting out to the north. He spots it. He says, "The jig is up, my friend. I'm gonna be finding you, and I'm gonna be absolutely destroying you." But we see just how many hits that villager takes to go down because Harrison has got his great coats. Very, very important upgrade for Harrison. One of his favorite upgrades, that's for sure. 202 health on those bad boys. Hitting the 3rd age now. Training some Corollians, sticking the Corollians into queue. Also training some Hacker Pellets. Very curious from Harrison that he's got, that he's training Hacker Pellets. I feel like, you know, I've only ever seen a person train Hacker Pellets when they lose. Harrison, I gotta say, mate, I don't like the position that you're in, mainly because you're just training Hacker Pellets. But other than that, you're looking great. So 160 torp pop at the moment. You know, nOel's done his best to try and keep the torp population down. Been very active with his army, but I suspect that it's probably not going to be enough. We also take a look at nOel. nOel now sending in the 5 meteor hammers, as well as creating 2 iron flails and 2 meteor hammers from the forward war academy. Do we see any more war academies going down on the back line? Nothing yet going up from the Chinese player, allying with the British allies. Going to be getting in a shipment of redcoats, probably sending in intervention at some point in this matchup, I suspect. We're going to speed it up just a little bit slower, a little bit more. We watch as the cavalry move in towards the coin mine. We see that there hasn't been anything yet that's come onto it. We see that a couple of villages are now on this coin mine, and Corollians are in position. Hacker Pellets are going to be able to get a snare off here and losing an entire batch of cavalry against the cavalry of Harrison. So really a big, unfortunate misplay from nOel. As China, one of the things that you want to do is you want to retain your mass as best you can, because you need to think about it, right? You've gone from 9 cavalry down to 5 now. So you've lost a significant portion of your mass. And as a result, it means that he's going to be a little bit a little bit more of a difficult spot when it comes to killing artillery and things like that. We take a look back at Harrison. We see that he's sent the 2 falconets from the homestead. He's got the hacker pellets out as well. Still training more hacker pellets at this point, so really, really curious stuff to see out of Harrison. He's still losing more torps in the north of the map, still at 170 torp pops, so doing a great job of replacing those torp ones and putting more torps up. Now, over to the west of the map, we see the hacker pellets getting fired at, taking some shots from the redcoats as well as the CKN getting off a volley. It looks like 1 hacker pellet might be going down. More Corollians being trayed on the back line now. These hacker pellets are going to manage to get out there. 6.75 speed, so not getting snared by any of the cavalry from the Chinese player. We see that the cavalry is slower with the exception of the Step Rider. The Ironfly, how much has that got? That's got 6.5 as well, so 2 cavalry units, quite slow. And now we've got Repelling Volley coming in, so this is going to increase the amount of damage that gets done against Corollians for units like the CKN as well as the Arquebusa. We've got Disciplined Chukonu coming in as well. So a bit of a lull period right now. I would say that nOel is definitely in a good position up against the Swedish player. He really just has to try and do his best to trade evenly as the Swedish player exhausts their resources on the map. So we've seen that Harrison has been pushed a little bit behind. He's still going to be out gathering nOel, but he's doing the right thing in that he's sending his upgrades. He's not sending the unit shipments. So he sent in, he started off with the 5 meteor hammers, which I think is the right choice. Gives you a lot of map control with that. But now he's moving into upgrades, which is the correct play. So it's very good to see from nOel that he's doing this. We've now got Harrison, who's going to be sending in upgrades of his own. Has he sent Snaplock? No, he hasn't sent in Snaplock just yet. So opting instead to send the platoon fire. So that's going to be giving him bonuses against hand cavalry. And hacker pellets getting off some shots over here. So treating these almost like dragoons. He's got these guys have only got a range of 6, so they're not able to do a lot, unfortunately. More hacker pellets now, moving into almost melee range, getting their shots off, but not doing a whole lot, unfortunately. So a lot of hacker pellets here for Harrison. This is quite comical to see. It's something rare that we see the use of hacker pellets. I'm going to speed us up ever so slightly, and more hacker pellets now, almost getting caught out of position by some units, getting off a volley. Platoon fire now coming in as well for Harrison. And an artillery foundry going up on the back. I think Harrison might believe that, oh, we've got ourselves a bit of a fight. Hacker pellets almost connecting there with the cavalry. The meteor hammers, the falconets getting off a shot on a single CKN that was moving forward out of position. Freedom fighter running back as well with his infantry. And slowly we see the fight beginning to unfold. I think Harrison might think that hacker pellets are dragoons, and he might think that Corollians are skirmishers, and he's got his mass all sorted out here. But Harrison, that's not the way that it works, buddy. Now we've got a forward market going down for Harrison. More units beginning to burn down the torps of nOel. And we've got more territorial armies, rather, being placed. Picking up a couple units here on the back line. So picking up some... a nice pickup, really. 6 units going down. And God, they shredded through them. They did a lot of damage. Maybe I'm talking shit about the hacker pellets a little bit too much, but they definitely looked quite ferocious. They're now doing a bit of a circle siege onto the village as well as onto the war academy. The army begins to move across from the left-hand side of the map over towards the right side of the map. The falconets now moving into position as well. So we see that the territorial army getting taken out by the falconets as well as by the Corollians, doing their best. Now, we don't actually have the 7 hand mortars in deck here for the Chinese player, which is going to be a difficult spot for him to be in because he's going up against 2 falconets and 2 leather cannons, which could very easily be neutralized by 7 hand mortars. And unfortunately, without them being in deck, it means that it's a bit more of a difficult spot. 140 unit population now against 130. Now, keep in mind the Chinese units are not as strong as the Swedish units, pound for pound. They are a little bit more population heavy as a civilization, a bit like the Russians in that regard. Hacker pellets now managing to get out, and it looks like we've got a cavalry charge that is on right now. Cavalry charge pushing up. Got to be careful of these falconets. These falconets almost 100% going to be caught out of position right now as he continues to move them around. They're getting snared up, keeping them in the group with the leather cannons. Leather cannons going down. Second falconet is the only falconet that remains. First falconet has gone down. Second one now going down as well. And it looks like nOel's in an absolutely commanding spot. Losing those falconets means that he's pretty much guaranteed to lose the game for Harrison. And it looks like the mass of nOel has overcome Harrison's mass, losing out a whole bunch of those hacker pellets as well. And now we see the reason why people don't make hacker pellets, because when they do make hacker pellets, they don't do particularly well, unfortunately. And now we've got Harrison beginning to retreat. More hacker pellets coming in from the left-hand side. The Carolians are going to get out, but we see that a score lead has now opened up for nOel. He's up 4K score, 5K score now, back to 4K score rather, back to 5K score, and in a absolutely decent position. He's going to keep getting snared down by the disciplined meteor hammers here from nOel. 9 reinforcing Carolians, and at this point, I can't think of anything that Harrison can really do in this position to come back. Like, realistically, maybe send Jaegers, and that's exactly what we actually get. We get 10 Jaegers coming back into the game. So, we'll see if he'll be able to pull out ahead from here, but my fear is that he's fallen behind a little bit too slowly on economy, and his opponent's going to have caught up to him at this point, especially when you consider things like the upgrades that he's been able to send. So we can see that he's up to 49 villages, as well as having things like the Summer Palace and the Porcelain Tower, which is adding 8 villages and adding an additional 5 with the Summer Palace. So he's up about 13, so 62 villages now against the 36 of Harrison. And he's at an awkward spot because his coin mines are almost running out. His blueberries have run out. He's only got a little bit remaining on these blueberries, and all of his steam is beginning to stop. So he's reached 18 minutes now. A bit of a difficult time in the Swedish life. And is that a torp? No, that's an outpost going up. I thought that was a torp that we just saw going up in the middle of nowhere. And so now the Jaegers coming out. Jaegers are going to be in a difficult spot because the Jaegers are going to be significantly outmassed by the light or the ranged infantry of nOel. And it means that he's just going to be able to really out brute force him. And that's exactly what we see. We see that nOel says, all right, you want to fight? Let's fight. Let's do it. We've got hand cavalry coming in as well. Hand cavalry is going to be able to clean up this mess without too much of an issue. We'll take a look at nOel, see if there's anything else coming in. No other forms of reinforcement at this point, but just a significant mass. Going to be able to deal with it. We take a look at the ranged infantry, and you can just see that they're doing a 3 times bonus against both ranged cavalry and against ranged infantry, against heavy infantry rather. So the Carolian there in particular. But now we've got a water. Oh my god! It's the triple dock boom. This is what I refer to as a big boy boom. So this is sealing the deal for nOel. At this point, this is like basically if the game lasts longer than like another 3 or 4 minutes, this just pays off so quickly. It is ridiculous how fast this pays off because he's going long lines and rendering plant. He hasn't made a single boat, and he's got his long lines upgrades. So these boats are going to be absolutely insane once this rendering plant comes in. So nOel really sealing the deal. Now it comes in 1.17 food a second. So this is equivalent to like a 4-5 villager of 4-5 TC boom here, just because of how powerful these fishing boats are. We don't actually see East Indiamen being sent in from the home city just yet, but I do suspect we'll probably be seeing fish markets sent in instead. And now we've got a little bit of a scuffle heading out. This is definitely going to be sealing the deal. 9K score lead now. We're just going to speed it up because I do suspect this is going to be the final fight of the game. Harrison's Jaegers are getting snared now by the Disciplined Iron Flail as well as the Meteor Hammer. And just nothing left for Harrison. And the victory looking like it's going to be going over to nOel at this point. Picking up a win with China. And I do suspect that the China is a 3-point civilization. I'd have to be corrected. And there we go. Harrison, unfortunately, not being victorious in this game. nOel really showing his skills with the Chinese there. I especially love the big boy boom that we've got on the back line. Let's take a look at the final graphs. We've got all resources gathered. We're very, very even. nOel eventually overtaking Harrison. We'll have a look at the villager population, and you can really see the difference. So nOel pulling ahead by a massive amount, just keeping his villagers trained the entire time. Harrison having a few bit of idle times.